at 11 starts now.
Tonight on The Edge, a man who ended up in a wheelchair due to gun violence is shot again.
This time he was shot 16 times, and as Fox News' Jessica Dupnack reports, he's somehow still alive.
How many times was he shot ultimately?
About 16.
Some of those bullet holes Missy found in her husband Damon days after he was shot.
He kept saying he felt burning in other areas while we were washing him up. And when I looked, I'm like, there's a hole there, there's a hole there, there's a hole there.
This is the second round of gunfire her husband has taken. A few years ago, he was shot twice, leaving him a paraplegic confined to a wheelchair.
At no point did I think that he wasn't gonna make it. I have a different type of faith.
That faith was tested last Tuesday in Highland Park, where they're both born and raised. Highland Park police are calling this some kind of drug deal gone bad. The shooter unloaded into the car Damon was driving in a neighborhood near the Davison and Woodward.
My husband said that he didn't even have an angry look on his face, just a regular blank stare, and he just shot him.
Somehow Damon was able to drive himself almost a mile away. Remember, he'd been shot 16 times. That's when Detroit police spotted him, and he was rushed to Henry Ford Hospital downtown. Then Missy met him there.
His arm was literally hanging off. Yeah. There was so many holes, so much blood, but we were both in agreement that this is not the end.
Not even a week later, and he's off the ventilator, eating and talking, with several surgeries under his belt, maybe more to come. They say this wasn't a robbery. Nothing was taken from Damon's car.
There has been a lot of people who want to retaliate, and my husband is saying no. Don't do that. Let the police do their job.
Highland Park police say they're following up solid leads, and the investigation is very much ongoing. Missy wants real justice before street justice is served.
If you're listening, you need to turn yourself in, because I have held people off. And at this point, it's been almost 7 days. There's nothing more I can do.
Reporting in Highland Park, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Some terrifying moments at that Detroit hospital as a patient opens fire on a nurse.
We're told the incident was an attempted murder suicide. This happened Saturday afternoon at the ICU at Sinai Grace Hospital. Detroit police say the male patient fired one shot at the nurse and missed, and then turned the gun on himself, and is in critical condition right now. It's not clear how that weapon got inside the hospital. DMC says it is currently reviewing patient and visitor screening protocols.
Something tragic, and a lot of police. I mean, that many police, it had to be something real serious.
A suspect is shot by police on Belle Isle. It was a series of events that led police to the state park. Law enforcement agencies were alerted that a criminal sexual conduct suspect didn't show up for his trial today. His tether placed him on Belle Isle. We're told Wayne County Sheriff deputies then tracked his location, and when they found him, he pointed a long gun at them, allegedly. Deputies fired shots, and he fell into the water. He was retrieved and rushed to the hospital. He was conscious and talking. Michigan State Police are overseeing this shooting investigation.
An off-duty Detroit police officer was arrested and tased while at the NFL draft over the weekend. This is what we know. It happened Saturday night outside an entry point in the area of Jefferson and Griswold. We're told the officer and his wife were arrested for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. That officer has been suspended. Incidents like that were very few and far between, though. In fact, Detroit has solidified its status as a premier host city for the NFL draft and breaking attendance records.
Well deserved, and as you could believe, the city is still riding high because of this.
We have exceeded, I think, everyone's expectations, not only just locally, but nationally and internationally. We shattered attendance records, but most importantly, we showed the vibrancy of Detroit on the world stage.
The NFL draft in Detroit getting 5-star reviews, and the city giving a big thank you to the police officers who helped keep everyone safe.
everybody I talked to talked about the Detroit police officers. Our 2,500 men and women had their vacations and leaves canceled for 3 days. They were out on their feet 10, 12 hours a day. Even by the end of the day Saturday, they were smiling and greeting people. It was tremendous.
More than 775,000 fans attended over the 3-day event, and that is an NFL draft record.
Wow. Well, the compliments for our city are piling up. Detroit is now ranked as one of the must-see destinations by the trendy travel magazine Afar. Our city is ranked along with some of the most popular places in the world: Paris, Rome, Fiji. Highlights include striking landmarks and the flourishing music and sports scene. Visit Detroit hopes the article will attract even more visitors next year.
Don't forget the food. They left out food. That's important, too.
Yeah, and I mean, and our weather.
Yeah, well, we did have a beautiful spring day until we didn't.
Yeah, exactly. The rain moved in, but the rest of the week is looking up. We're going to check it out with Rich.
Taryn and Dave, once again today, we were in the lower 80s, so this warm stretch continues, but that's all changing right now. A cold front is moving through the central Great Lakes. You can see all the showers streaming up from Kentucky through Ohio, including southeast Michigan, all the way up into Ontario. But these showers are pushing off to the east, so we're going to see these showers taper off over the next few hours. Some of us have picked up as much as a ½ inch of rain since the showers started late this afternoon. Live pictures from the Mackinac Bridge. Boy, it's soupy up there with the fog and the low clouds and the drizzle. 40 degrees at the bridge. Check out what's on radar around here. Still some showers down over Monroe County, across Detroit right now, up along 94 from Mount Clemens to Port Huron, but there's not a lot on radar back around Lansing and Jackson, so showers continue to move off to the east. 82 degrees this afternoon. It was pretty warm out there before the clouds and the showers arrived. Not nearly as warm up to our north. 65 Ludington, only 46 for high today. Escanaba, 82 and 60 at the airport. Averages 64 and 44, so way above where we should be. There's your rainfall total, a little more than ½ inch at Metro Airport. How about the records? 83, so we were 1 degree short of that record. How about the numbers right now? A lot of us in the low to mid 60s. These numbers will slowly fall off a few more degrees through the overnight, but the breeze is still from the south and southwest. Once that cold front eases through the area, the wind direction will change to the west and northwest. You can see how the temperatures fall away. 63 here, 53 Ludington, 45 in Marquette. Look at Thunder Bay, Ontario. 36 degrees. There's 46 in and around Minneapolis. So the front takes the showers with it. See you later. Then the next few days are going to be pretty quiet. This next feature is going to fizzle out. So for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, plan on no rain gear needed, no umbrellas as well. Tapering off the showers will for the rest of tonight down to 59. Tomorrow we're back to 72 with less humidity. A very pleasant Tuesday. And then check out the 7-day forecast. Looking good for Wednesday and Thursday. A few showers on Friday, not an all-day soaker, and then still mild for the weekend. Remember, always get the latest forecast. Check it out, the Fox 2 Weather app. You can do it right now. Download it for free in the App Store or in Google Play. Dave.
Thank you, Rich. Well, he shot and killed his Lyft driver with no apparent motive. Now we've learned that killer accepted a plea deal. You may remember this case from October 2022. 49-year-old Dina Terrell was found in Pontiac with a gunshot wound to her head. Investigators say she used the Lyft app to track down Kamari Phillips, who was 19 at the time. Nothing of value was taken from the vehicle. Terrell was a cancer survivor and a mother of 3. Phillips agreed to plead no contest to second-degree murder. The first-degree murder charge will now be thrown out. This leaves Phillips open to the possibility of a parole someday. He will be sentenced in June.
Her life was carelessly taken in a very unfortunate domestic violence situation.
A guilty verdict for a man who was accused of shooting and killing his ex-fiancée in Warren. That shooting happening right in front of her children. Following a 4-day trial, a jury convicted 43-year-old James Rocket III for the death of Michelle Siegel back in March of 2022. Siegel was shot 10 times when she opened her front door. A first-degree murder conviction is a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole. Well, it's been a tense time on many college campuses.
So could protests impact commencement at the University of Michigan? Pro-Palestinian demonstrations have disrupted graduation events at several colleges. In letters to students' families, U of M says the Ann Arbor campus may be filled with protesters on Saturday, including during commencement ceremonies. Many protesters have been calling on the school to divest from companies that support Israel.
We are continuing to reclaim our space at our university where we are sending our tuition money to, again, show the university we are here until you divest.
The university says no one has the right to substantially disrupt school activities, but commencement presenters will be patient if minor disruptions occur.
Meanwhile, things aren't so calm at other schools. At Columbia University in New York, protesters defied a deadline to disband today. Columbia had said any students who continue to protest would face suspension. The school's president says Columbia will not divest or cut financial ties with Israel, but would make financial investments in Gaza.
There are certainly people who are peaceful on the lawn, but there's a lot of this growing like threatening culture that's taking place on campus and especially off campus, right outside the gates.
Columbia's commencement is on May 15th. The school's president said it will happen on campus.